Click. And it should be going. There it goes. Computer, you want to catch up to me?
Finally got it working, but I had to actually just click into your thing through the sidebar. It wouldn't get me there from just typing in the header like normal. Very strange.
Post that in the blue sky. Post this in the Discord.
Sorry about that.
How dare you? How dare you? And hello everyone, I'm Andy Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and today we are playing Fabula Ultima, Dungeon of the Lost Princess. And let us look into that place of vows. Once upon a time in the countless realms, the High Magi of Rakawai served at the pleasure of the lost princess. Through his mastery of elemental rituals and the arcana, he forged in moments what would otherwise take decades of mortal labor. Then came the fated day of the princess's vow. Betrayed by a cunning bandit lord, the Magi's work was sabotaged, sowing the seeds for the downfall of the Temple of Life and Death. In his final catastrophic moments, the Magi was lost, leaving only his magical throne hidden somewhere in the dungeon's first stratum. Today, the Bandit Lord still lurks in those upper depths, bound to mislead and rob any brave delvers seeking to save the princess or plunder her domain, cursed by the Magi's dying breath, or perhaps by the dungeon itself. He has become as much part of the labyrinth as any monster. They say he can never truly be slain, though a sharp, enlightened mind may find a way to halt his endless trickery.
Where are we going to find one of those?
Whoop. To the First Strata we go.
We need the world's smartest mellow ooze.
So you all last had a rather pointed vision, and a spell was learned through a bit of opportunity, and actually just opportunity just straight up rolled in the event. So at the moment, Latch seems to be rather lost in his own morose state, and distractedly playing a solemn tune.
Someone's player went to Gen Con. We're all regionalists. Anyways. Also, don't forget, Roan found the jewelry of all time.
The cursed amethyst. Which it cannot be taken off without a ritual to move, which either requires a character who can do rituals to commit the ritual of breaking the curse, or you spend 300 Senate at the Shrine of Arcana finding some priest to do it for you. But it is otherwise that accessory is stuck to you until you can get it removed.
Did Roan put it on?
Roan had to. There was a check. It was forcibly imparted to them as they opened the chest. As you do. So what, pray tell, do these delvers do?
I'm getting out of that chair.
Likely wise.
Are you?
Sorry, where are you headed?
Out of the chair.
Out of the chair.
Oh, good.
First task completed.
Yeah, I look at you with a bit of worry in my eyes and say, did something happen when you sat down? I was really worried when you went up there.
Well, that was rather unpleasant.
I get a bad feeling about that chair. But you're saying it proved to be all right, and I should try it?
No, do not say it.
I nod with my suspicion fulfilled. Why are you trying to downplay it as if nothing's wrong then,
Oh, I forgot.
Miss Cawthorn?
I had a rather unpleasant, I believe the term is vision.
I just look at you quizzically.
There was there was someone in this room, and they were seeking an audience with the Magi. And I just had this horrible feeling that something happened. It set into the chain of events that lead to us, in some small manner, standing here. Yeah,
I'll lean over from around the chair, making care not to interrupt our musician at work. And look up over these structures that the chair is sitting on and call out, "Are you okay, Ron?"
Are you okay or are you not?
I think that tells me she's not. Why don't we go ahead and, like we had been discussing, plan to make our way back now? We've discovered a lot.
The boy that...
Including your spell. We can just go.
Yes, I suppose we could. Ron, whatever is the matter?
I will get to the first thing and be like, I can't seem to get this off.
Alright, let me... So... I'd like
Maybe
to
we should
tug at it.
lean in and inspect that gaudy looking jewelry.
Is this the best place to discuss it with all this magically charged electricity?
Oh. Once we leave here, we cannot return if we decide to take the short way out. So...
Well, I mean, we can at least go back one room. We know one room north of us is safe. And nothing in there important to worry us.
It's a resource room. That's true.
Fair point. I will just quickly... I'd like to inspect the chair. Specifically, I'm looking for any sort of sigils on it.
Insight's part of it. I need a certain book open in case you make the roll.
My book?
My
Here.
book. Why would I use your book?
Opening your book sounds highly personal.
And in the book, gosh darn it, you inspect the throne. And what, pray tell, are you hoping to find?
Well, when I was seated in that chair and it attempted to dispel me, you used distinctly, and I wrote this down, used the word jealous.
Mm-hmm.
As if it were jealous, to quote directly. And therefore, I would like to check if there are any sigils.
You indeed find a rune in the style of symbology marked upon the throne. There's a few, in fact, that seem to make this into the seat itself into an artifact that is not exactly mobile. It's very much plugged into the great spheres of magic it is attached to. The chair seems to be designed in such a way that it draws massively upon mind points and magical energy. The spheres supply it a lot, but you realize that you, unless you are the bearer of a certain item or symbol, or an item with that symbol on it that corresponds to the High Magi of this place, it will treat you, anyone who has any spellcaster as a fuel source, and it will drain their mind points away to fuel the chair. Because the chair is a method of doing rituals, and even though it does rituals at half cost, essentially, upon the First Strata, it's still a lot of points when you're affecting massive rooms or the entirety of the Strata. It's very mind point greedy, and you get the feeling it hasn't been used for a while. Like these big glass things below are more like storage mediums upon which probably haven't been filled up very much, honestly. They still have some in them, but they aren't full, and so this chair will draw. It won't draw if all 4 chambers are full, because then there's no point. The mind points would just be wasted. But there's a sense of personality almost. Very powerful artifacts sometimes have that persona-esque mind to them. Not necessarily sentient, but they develop some what some people call anthropomorphic tendencies. They can awaken. It's not unheard of, as you well know, Miss Cawthorn. Though your case is a little more special than this poor chair. Throne, sorry. It's a bit more important than a chair.
A nerving wonder of, like, what if I was rooted in place like this? Oh. Yes, a tactical retreat does sound good. Yes.
I'm going to go clamber over these things and take Roan by the elbow, because she's so much taller than me, gently, and say, come on, let's go. Let's go somewhere where we can look at this thing safely.
Is it Roan?
Gently guiding her to the north door.
Does Roan acquiesce?
I'm gonna take a look at it closer where I'm standing first, see if there's any, like, player-wise, I know that there is not, but I'm looking to see if, as Roan, I'm looking to see if there's any, like, latches or any mechanism to remove it.
You indeed have one latch.
Ha ha ha. You do see that, like, you kind of take the chain and kind of run it around your neck a little bit to kind of find, it's like, there must be a latch to get this. Like, I put it on. How do I take it back off? And normally, in most any necklace, there's one of 2 ways. In a more simple term, you kind of end up having to tie a quick little knot, and then it's a knot you undo. Rather, it's a very simple knot. There's usually some sort of ring or chain link sort of thing, or perhaps even a tiny little latch if it's very delicate. This, it looks like it's just a solid chain. Like, you know your thumbs hit a latch to get it around your neck. And then as you search the entire chain, it ain't there anymore.
Hmm.
So it's basically forcibly taking up her accessory slot. Okay.
Yeah, at least it's not iron.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Is your character, what pronouns does your character use?
He.
He, okay.
He's a dude.
Thank you. Just writing that in my notes.
Although
He is a very pretty dude, because Faye.
yeah, and he is Fae, so they have. They generally have a looser relationship with gender than non-Fae. Let's say. At least if that's where mythology is to be believed.
Mm.
I'll make a motion at Latch to come on. You know, she's so busy playing music.
You all escape north into the massive room of Lapis Lazuli.
Yep. I've got
Yes.
Roan by the elbow the whole time. Just to make sure, since she seems so out of it. Less confident than normal.
Preoccupied, probably, like, still searching, like, where the hell? Maybe if I tug on it. No. What if I get it around my neck? No, it tightened. It's tightening. Okay, don't do that. That's dangerous.
Yeah, basically.
Sure.
What if I force it with a good tug? Ow! Dang, that hurt.
Basically, like flailing at it, kind of like a cat that has tape on its paw, except it's
Okay.
around my neck.
Or a cat with like that's not used to collars yet, so it keeps
Yeah.
pawing at it. It's like, leave it alone. No, get it off me.
Once we finally get into a room that I feel is much safer, and I close the door on it, I sort of do a little funny run to the other side, and the other arm, and I say, here, let me help. And I'll reach out with both hands, and, it's like an armband, right?
Necklace.
Oh, it's a necklace. Okay. Well, then I'll sort of run around to the front.
An amulet. It's an amulet. Sorry, it's an amulet of amethyst.
I'll get it a good grip, and I'll lean in close from, my shorter vantage point, and see if it looks like there's any seam or any hidden thing, and possibly a magical, symbol or sigil anywhere explaining that it might be magically locked on, or anything that I might notice. I'm basically inspecting.
It seems to have, despite it has various insight. That's an insight worth roll. It's a pretty low DC to get anything, but if you get a higher roll, I'll give extra information. Because the amulets aren't that uncommon in the Countless Realms. There are 700.
If I get a little help, we could hit a 16. Would you care to help?
I'm the GM. I can't help.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Coppola, would you care to help examine this thing?
They roll their eyes and mutter something as they walk over. They are trying that hard.
I really value your opinion.
That is indeed an amulet. I gathered that. Thank you, Miss Cawthorne.
That's exactly what they say.
It's like, yes, I got that. I read the item text.
You wear it around your neck. Yes. What about it?
Well, I have a 15 at least. That's still a pretty good roll.
Yeah. 15 will tell you that this is indeed the runes upon it, in a very common high magic style in the Rakoian school, but it's high magic's pretty standardized, Countless Realms wide. Like, most mages know how it works. This does match all the runes you would inscribe into a pendant, like upon the jewel itself and the actual holder for it, as this big glowing orb. And as you turn it around, it does look like it would capture dark magic rather well. It would give the bearer resistance. But there's something else as you let it turn, and as you look, like you would look at it from like the light of a nearby lamp, like you look underneath up at a light. But if you look the other way around toward Roan, you notice that where the light goes through the amethyst and continues on to Roan, what's supposed to happen is that with the dark resistance, it would actually lighten a little bit. It would look like darkness. It's like there was like a little lamp inside the light sort of thing. Instead, it almost, you see like there's this blotch or blemish on his skin. And when you move the gem, like, oh crap, is he okay? There's no blemish. And that's how it's clear. You're able to clearly indicate that this thing has been cursed. It's meant to affect upon the mind and be overly concerned with the item. And then the item, once it gets you halfway there, it doesn't need to keep complete control of your mind. It just needs you to be mind controlled long enough for you to put it on, and then at that point, it basically seals the necklace. So now this thing is sort of trapping them. Surprisingly, it doesn't have anything extra to it. It doesn't have like a mind point drain or a health point drain. It doesn't seem to
reduce dex.
It does reduce dex. That's my mistake. Sorry. By 1 die, so you can actually see. Yeah. So as you look at the blemish, and it's not there, but you kind of look and you notice that Roan's a little slower. Was like a little slow to react to you grabbing at them. And Fae are not known for being slow. They're not known for being lacking agility. And you were able to kind of out grab Throne, and Roan just like, huh? Oh, okay. It's like that shouldn't have happened unless Roan was asleep.
Right. Okay, well, I'm going to rack my brain. I'm going to turn and explain what I've learned to Miss Cawthorne. and Roan will overhear since she's like right there, But I'll explain what I've come to understand from studying it to Ms. Cawthorn, like I'm consulting a mentor, um, almost as if I was expecting her to grade me on what I've figured out, as if she obviously knew, but was acting like she didn't to see what I could learn on my own, right? To display my knowledge. So I treat her as if she was testing me, and then I say, I think we could maybe put together a ritual and break the curse. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think just breaking the part of the curse that prevents her from taking it off might be a little easier, but breaking the curse on the item so it just doesn't do anything bad anymore and works like a normal magic item should could also be possible, but it would be probably more difficult or more expensive or both. Is that right?
Removing the curse item would be, it starts with that roll. Removing the curse item is a ritual that would be about 40 mind points and a difficulty level of 13. And that's it. It's not a multiplier because it's just the target's a person. You're uncursing a person. Is what you're doing. If you want to reforge the item and make it not be a curse, because as far as the item's concerned, it's doing what's supposed to do. It's doing what it was made to do. So you'd have to get it into a shop and do a project and make a project roll or two or 5 or 10,
Okay.
however long it takes,
So in
to
other words,
slowly
just-
unweave that one, because you want to keep everything else, but you want to get rid of the cursed part of it.
All right. Well, if it's all right with you, I'd like to sort of narratively describe that as being Hannah's inexperienced enough to be incorrect in that part, and that maybe Ms. Cawthorn can correct her, because I feel like Hannah, while she understands ritualism and rituals very well, she doesn't really know that much about magic items.
Which makes sense, given where she's from. She probably doesn't see a lot of magic items other than the ritual ones that she has, like her own amulet.
Other than her own, right? Yeah. The ones that she bears. She has.
And also, cursed items are rare. You almost never run into those in the Countless Realms.
Well, until you come to a dungeon.
Yeah. Well, even then, if you think about the heroes of Starfall, they didn't run into cursed items. To give you an idea.
Oh, that is a legend, but maybe they just left it out of the legend because it wasn't exciting enough.
Fair enough. God knows I've used too many cursed
not
items.
My discipline.
Yeah.
However, from your description, it appears more like the curse is more of just a compulsion to put it on a flawed item. But than the actual.
Well, if it's only going to be
well.
Difficulty 13 and 40 mind points, I could attempt it, but I don't honestly feel super confident that I would automatically succeed. I mean, I think I could do it, but I could also slip it up. 13's pretty hard.
And when you fail, you don't kind of fail rituals. Rituals are all or nothing.
Right. This is just meta-contextual, so I'm speaking as the player now.
Yeah.
I understand when you find an object to sacrifice, you reduce the mind point cost, but you don't actually change the difficulty any. Is that right?
Yep.
Is there any way to lower the difficulty, or not really? It's basically set by the procedure needed.
It would be in ritual rules in and of themselves, nothing in particular makes it go lower, but going by the bare mechanics of Fabula Ultima, if there was some reason for you to be better at doing the role, or like say a book on curses, or you have a special item that's good for curses, or your character has an identity that relates to, or maybe some theme that relates to being in tune with curses, or maybe another way I would think of it is if you had a class that was centered around curses as a thing. It's like, well, okay, well, you probably would get a +1, and that would give you at most a +1. It wouldn't affect the difficulty, it would affect your skill level. Your roll would get +1 to +3. +3 is the max normally you can get from stuff. It can be higher, but that's almost unheard of. I don't think I've ever done more than +3.
Taking her to a room that was specifically for magical rituals? We passed through several of those in the dungeon. So if I take her to a ritual room where rituals are normally done, would I be able to claim a bonus in that location?
If the location was of good energy. The ones you've passed so far, I think, are still haven't been purified, if I'm not mistaken. Appointed rooms you're talking about, I want to make sure I'm not, because I know this room, I know we haven't resolved. It's still
I don't think we put notes on each and every room. We probably should have as we went. but there were a couple of rooms. I recall one of them near where the Watcher or the Observer or the
Oh yeah,
This one.
Voyeur were. Yeah, that
yes.
room.
This room,
We
these two rooms.
we basically defeated the monsters that were in it, and that was a ritual room. And I don't remember what the original ritual was for, but
It
it had been
was.
perverted.
It altered the terrain and it made it so that another mage could potentially resummon a monster of some type there, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
it's
believe
like a
I think I also wrote down the cost in my notes. Let me check.
Yeah, because you guys had asked how you could stop it from. Because I said if you leave and come back, that room will come back with monsters. Because the ritual, some evil-minded wizard may come back and just resummon stuff, either as an experiment or as a way to slow people down.
The Ritual of Earth, to disable it, was 80 MP DC 13. To alter it while it was still running was 120 MP DC 13 as well.
So we decided to leave it alone for now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having great notes. All right, then I suggest then that maybe we put together, like we found a lot of resources. When we get back, I think we're going to be able to we're going to earn a lot of money for reporting everything that we found. Why don't we just earmark some of that to pay to have this curse broken for you? There are people there who
Only
do that.
300 Zenith, so
Yeah, it's only Zenith. We're going to have a lot, I think.
we can afford it.
Yeah. So, Ms. Cawthorn, let's try out your new spell.
You want to return this early?
I think we're ready to go back.
You are ready to go back.
Well, Roan, she has a problem that we can't solve on our own, and I don't know what's up with him. He just won't, he's even more morose than normal. He's not even talking to us. My apologies.
They look back at their tome. They write something down. They scribble a few things.
Well, I mean, the two boys in the party seem out of it. I think we should take them back.
They rust ahead to the temple and they start muttering, maybe they'll accept paperwork this time. Fine, I can't just leave you all to make your way back on your own.
Besides, exploring this place on your own is not a very safe thing to do, and the guild would make fun of you. It would not make fun of you. They'd probably yell at you for it.
Thanks.
Miss Cawthorn has applied no less than 4 times for solo Delver status.
It's like, cool, break that. Cast spell. Dang it, that's impossible to break. Guildmaster breaks it in half with one swing. You sure? Okay, point taken. Show off.
Yeah. Thanks for helping us get out.
Think nothing of it.
Says, still tugging at the amulet because he's doing stuff.
This is the one non-increments of 5 spell I've seen.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
First time I've ever seen it, too. It's almost like it's an intentional nose thumb. Thumb nose. Whatever. Don't judge me.
Don't worry, the auto transcriber will completely confuse what you just said. It does it for me. Transcriber.
I take one look back at the throne room there, then sigh, run a hand through my hair, and begin to cast quote outside end quote. I will come up with a better name later.
At least it isn't Town Portal. What a lame name for a spell.
Your hand begins to glow at each of your fingertips. The grimoire begins to shimmer in magical light. And the whole room's lights, every bit of light in the room just sort of dims as if a spotlight is showing just on the group of targets. Who are your targets?
My targets are, in this order, Latch, Roan, Hannah, and myself.
this will matter in a second. Whoop. The light flings toward the book and then out toward the 5 targets in the order you specified. And then a massive circle appears within all of you, because you all need to be relatively close to each other to do this spell. You get the feeling if people stood on other sides of the room, it would still work. You just need to be able to see them. They have to be in the scene, as it were. And then, as you finish the cast, you cast your hand down. The lights from your fingertips fling into the ground, and all of you suddenly, in order, boing, get flung straight up into the ceiling. And it looks like Latch's about to crush his head into the ceiling, and he vanishes. Roan, you're about to crush your head into the ceiling. Do you do anything?
Cover my head.
You vanish. Anna, you're about to crush your head into the ceiling. What do you do?
I crouch down like into a little ball and wrap my hands around my hat and pull it tight around my head, and I'm like, ah!
Whoop. Miss Cawthorn, what do you do as you know you're gonna go through the ceiling just fine because you're the one casting?
Do I? Do I really know that?
Hey, you might not. That's fair enough. You're just it's like, oh, this spell says outside.
Perhaps
It says it takes me
I-
outside this. It'll just teleport me, right? Oh, it's dragging me through the ceiling. The ceiling will move out of the way, right? Oh god.
Perhaps it's on instinct, but that they kind of move and shelter their toe on the other side of their projected body.
Oof. Thankfully, this spell used to make you ram your head into the ceiling, but that spell's gotten better over time.
They kept working on it until they got it right.
They waited till the remix. Oh, wait, wrong music. Sorry, you're not dead. That made it sound like, well, game over, make new characters. You're all dead.
No.
Rocks fall, everybody dies. It turns out we didn't just move up, the dungeon moved down.
Right. I like it.
Oh, God. Boop.
Talk about a classic.
Boop, boop, boop.
Hmm.
So, boop. Boop. I said boop, darn you. Boop. Boop. Huh? Hold on.
Remember you were using a placeholder art. I did make a sketch of Ron at some point.
Don't worry, folks. I know what I'm doing. Okay. I can pull them off the GM layer so I can manipulate them. And then I can go to Roan's token and update default token. Yes. Save. So it's not the R anymore. So I can go back to settlement. And now I can pull Roan. Whoops. Not until Old Town. Let's try that again. We pull Roan here. Ha ha. It worked. Okay. I know what I'm doing, everybody. I swear. You should all be drawing so you don't snap to
Well, the
the
count
thing.
is really coming together.
Yeah, all of you reappear right out of the floor, just whoop. And a few adventurers as you suddenly appear out of the floor, people just dive out of the way as you all appertate from the ground, and some people get ready to fight, and then then they see that you all have some little mark of the guild. Some people recognize you from town, and oh, never mind.
Oh, I'm still balled up under my hat.
Yeah, you probably popped up and went dunk, roll. Yes, this is the Dungeon City of Nazo and its various districts. Of course, there's the this area here is the original Dungeon Town, but since time has passed, the other over the decades, the encampment and fort expanded drastically.
Yeah.
The rivers flow, the trees blow in the wind. You see the Princess Keep with its various guards, making sure to keep the bridge safe, so if any monsters do manage to come out of the dungeon, they get stopped pretty fast. And of course, there is the grand statues and shrines of Arcana, depicting the various grand arcana that make up the elements of the world. And a massive seeing pool in the middle, upon which you see some priests occasionally refilling their inventory points and holy water and stuff like that. Some people dipping their weapons in for good luck.
That doesn't really do anything, does it?
Depends on the people. Some people it really helps. Some people see other people do it, go, I can do that. It's like, are you a dark blade? No, that does nothing. You don't know how to enchant your sword like that.
Well, do we know where we would go to take Roan to get the help that he needs?
Yes, over to the Shrines of Arcana. There are various priests who attend to the massive statues, and any one of them will do an uncursing. Because the Arcana are considered rather, they are considered fairly neutral religions, so you don't necessarily have to be a devotee for them to help you. Unlike certain religions, like the old empire of the Dark Blades, they are very specific about who they help. Whereas these guys, this is why the princess wanted them to be here. She wanted them to help anybody who wanted help, sort of idea.
And where would we normally go to report the things that we found? The guild hall?
You would go to the guild hall and report to Guildmistress Arabin.
All right. I'm gonna take Roan first into the shrines to get him uncursed.
Whoops.
I think maybe we report stuff first, get our report, and then we can do that, because it's not like we'll be attacked in town.
You say that now, but then of course the worst possible thing could happen and you're not prepared for it.
My recommended order of operations is to first check to make sure everyone's limbs are still attached. So, are all your limbs still attached?
Not my. Oh wait, my violin was covering it. I'm good.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to look at Ms. Cawthorn first. Are her limbs still attached?
Are you able to, are you all able to lose limbs without noticing? That seems like it would be a problem.
I'm no entropist, and teleportation is generally more of an entropist thing.
Everything that's supposed to be attached apparently is still attached on this priestess.
Your fourth finger is shorter than the other fingers. Wait, that's your pinky.
No, Roan, let's just get you fixed, and then we'll go to the guild. It won't take long, and I've got the money to cover it. You can pay me back after we've settled up with the guild.
I know. Let's go.
All right. I again take Roan by an elbow and drag him slightly into the shrines to take him to have the.
Does Roan acquiesce to being dragged?
No. But I will walk along.
Okay, good enough.
Which of the elements of the Grand Arcana do you approach? Because there's a statue for each one.
Do I already know where I should go for this, or have an idea at least?
It's mostly a preference thing. I mean, some people would think the light Arcana would be most applicable to curing a curse, but honestly, any powerful elemental could probably just... Because ritualism is ritualism. So at the end of the day, with enough magical power, you can unmake a curse just by overwhelming it.
Sure. Well, then I'll if it's personal preference, I'll lean towards the Arcanum of Earth. Head that direction.
You see the statue there, what almost looks like a sculpture of a mountain that is dark brown in color, but you can see it gleam as if it's made. It's like it's a gem, and as you get closer and closer to it, you can see the faint silhouette of it change almost to look like different mountains or hills. And then when you're actually standing next to the priest before the great statue, it makes you think of, you see it less as a abstract mountain, and it does look sort of like a person. If a person were made out of a mountain, it's kind of hard to describe otherwise.
So a huge dwarf.
It may seem that way to you. But...
That's what Hannah would probably imagine. I'll tear my eyes from the vision and look to the priest and say, Pardon me, sir. I'm Hannah. I'm with the guild. I point at my, guild symbol and say, my friend Roan here needs a little uncursing help from a object. Point at the amulet. Get out of the way.
They
right, I take up.
slowly turn their head.
I'll get 300 gold pieces ready. Or Zenit, sorry. 300 Zenit ready.
They look over at Hannah. And Hannah has already backed off a little bit and done her little explanation before he's done really turning his head. And then he continues slowly moving his head to look over at Roan.
I tug at the amulet that is still stuck.
I am an avatar of Earth, and in its power, enraptured in the power of oak and leaf, I ask you if true you would have the earth's blossom upon thy brow and cure you of thy curse.
I would appreciate it. Yes?
Some looky-loos, some people who are just like paying respect to the Arcana kind of start collecting around what's going on because they've heard him speak. They heard the priest speaking, so they're like, "Oh, he's gonna do a big spell. Cool. Let's go see. This seems really important." And so you got a small crowd, not a huge one, but a small one starting to develop.
Okay. Is there like a tithe box? Sorry.
Price must be paid in matter of devotion, quest, or your promised lack of allegiance, or rather, in the form of donation to the glory and beauty and growth of all things, in the form of Zenit. No more than 300 coins, no less than 300 coins. And to not, and he points, the fastest movement he's done this whole conversation, and not be sworn to the avatar of wind. Which, you're not an avatar of wind, so that's a pretty easy thing for you to thumbs up, I'll point out.
I'll carefully begin counting out my Zenit so that I'm not accidentally one over or under. And then look for the place to deposit it.
You look around, and you don't see any sort of box or jar or anything of that sort. You just see the massive statue, you see a priest, you see various devotees watching carefully. The priest looking meaningfully and pointedly at Roan as if daring them to say, I actually like the wind avatar. They're the best. Earth sucks, Which he's not going to, but the priest is just waiting for it. Go ahead, say it, I dare you, sort of look.
As I'm going through these coins, did anyone else come with us, or is it just Roan and I?
Just you two.
Yeah, Latch has wandered off.
All right. I lean over to Roan and I whisper to him, note to self, don't choose Earth next time. But then I get them to count it out correctly, and then I step forward holding it in my hands to the priest.
They slowly turn their head to look at you. Is it your want to donate in thine own cause, or in the interest of this cursed soul?
I'm paying for my friend to have his curse removed. Yes.
He sweeps a hand up in front of him, and you see the earth suddenly morph in front of between you, and it stops just short of like a very comfortable like arm height, like mid chest height, so you can easily put the money into what looks to be a small chest. Which
Perfect.
It seems the coffer box is hidden underground in case some enterprising thief tries to get clever and run off with the coffer box. Because that hasn't happened more than once.
That's pretty clever. All right. Well, I'll place the money, which I carefully counted, and then put it back, and I say, "Not one more nor one less, as stipulated." And then I bow to him.
And
Despite his annoying me, I nevertheless still revere the Arcanum of Earth itself.
he pulls his hand down in a sweep, and the chest snaps shut, and you see it disappear into the ground. And you hear some, actually, more pointedly, Cawthorn, as you're kind of hanging back a little bit, you hear some thief go, "Damn it!" And they start stomping off like they were waiting for the perfect time for someone to do that, and it wasn't out there long enough. They screwed up. Oh well. The hardest guy to rob, I swear. Then he slowly turns his head to Roan. May the earth and plants and the poisons they make halt the hinder upon thy soul. He sweeps up his hand suddenly, and you are entombed instantly, Roan. And you feel this very crushing sensation and this burning feeling along your neck. And then just as soon as it started, the earth coffin pops loose, disappears into the ground, and you notice the necklace, the amulet that was at your neck, clatters to the ground. You are free of the necklace.
I will cough a few times and clear my throat because that was quite unpleasant.
Hey, your dex dice goes up. You don't feel quite so slow-witted anymore.
Yay. Oh. Oh.
Is it disenchanted and harmless now? I asked the priest.
People clap and start making prayer motions at the massive statue. The priest seems preoccupied with the praise the earth arcana. Eventually you get his attention again. The cursed item has been unlatched from its bearer. For it to be pure and whole in its use, it must be reforged or destroyed. If thou wish, I may impart upon the grand arcana of earth through the power of the oak to destroy this foul thing. But should you wish to see it right, then you may take upon yourself this quest. Rome, by the way, you feel a weird itchy feeling around your neck.
Scratch my neck.
You feel that in the place of the amulet is a necklace of flowers that have been that replaced the amulet.
Interesting.
Yeah, they actually, now that you're aware of them, once your fingers kind of like brush against them, they actually smell kind of nice. And when you actually look at if you look down a little bit, all the flowers are very poisonous flowers. You wouldn't want to eat any of these, but them just sitting on your neck like this, it's okay. But I wouldn't eat any of these or mix them in your tea.
Mix them in someone else's tea, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll get one of my extra pouches that you would carry coins in if you had extra, maybe, and see if I can't scoop up the necklace into that pouch without grabbing it with my bare fingers.
Yeah, with a mindset of, I know this is cursed, it's a lot easier to grab a cursed item without it. Because the cursed item goes, I'm a nice, cool item. You should put me on right now. Sure, that seems like a good idea. Snick, damn it. Why did I do that? As opposed to, nah, I know what you are, screw you. It's like, aw, this smells, I can't, most of my magic's in cursing, not the actual making you wear me thing.
Right. I get it in a pouch and close it up and try the drawstring, and then I hold it out to Roan and say, well, perhaps we can sell this at the guild. Perhaps it would be worth some extra coin.
Fully?
I'm sure there might be people there who would wish to study it. We should probably find
Oh, huh. I was wrong. Cool. Good to know.
find Ms. Cawthorn before she disappears into the crowd. If we can get out of here, I try to push through the little crowd that's surrounding and applauding the priest. Try to make my way out of there carefully.
So you all start heading across the Princess Keith Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Each of you are challenged to present your credentials for the guild hall to show that you're adventurers who are supposed to go into the dungeon and you're supposed to be leaving it, which all of you have. What does that look like for each of you? Because it can be in different forms. It just has to have clearly say signed by Guildmistress Erebin. It has to have the stamp of the guild hall on it. Other than that, and your name or whatever your adventuring Numdagar might be. Is it like a card? Is it an amulet? Is it a ring? Is it a massive, fancy-looking vellum scroll?
Considering my previous arrival in this courtyard was far less pleasant, I have no less than 5 papers and a very stern glare from the guard because I recognize them.
He gives you a glare back. It's you again. Papers? And you have them. You have multiple pages, and some of it's duplicated, I imagine. Just like, no, we double-checked.
They made me sign in triplicate.
Welcome in, Page Cawthorn. Enjoy the peace of the kingdom of Rockaway. The other guard gives him a look like, geez, you don't need to be rude. There's a line. Don't bother her.
I continue on my way.
Funny too, Rockawayans are usually so friendly. This guy just doesn't like you. Jeez.
I will, so Rowan being prone to misplacing things would have a token tied to his wrist, which is presented.
Holds it up, and he briefly reaches out to turn it around just to get a better look on both sides. Nods. Carry on, Roan.
I nod.
So, when Hana approaches, she'll rustle around in her little cloak thing, her little short mantle cloak that she's been wearing and hiding, most of her upper body in all this time.
Mm.
And it will have, around roughly on the inside of it, but around like where the right shoulder would be roughly or slightly below that, will be like a a pinned cloak clasp, and that cloak clasp is her pass, basically. Like, all the information necessary for it can be looked at just by examining that clasp. So she'll basically flip over the right side of her little mantle cloak and hold it out and, point at it and show it to the guards and wait while they look at it.
The guard will lean forward to make sure they get a good look at it. They don't reach for it because it's attached to something and all the information is on one side, so it's just a matter of reading it. Carry on, Hana Hitano.
Flip it back on. I almost look like embarrassed as I squeeze past these two hulking guards. Well, hulking to me, everybody looks huge to me.
Wait until you find the Dragonkin. Those people are huge.
Just a little thing,
Passing through the courtyard of Princess Keep, you see that there is the guards and the garrison of the entire settlement. Mostly, as you can see from the wall, they are mostly concerned with the dungeon, but hey, if someone attacks the village, they're ready to mobilize. They have watchtowers about. And there are guardhouses strategically placed around the city, just to maintain city peace and order. If they live anywhere, they live out of the keep. And that gives them an extra bit of, even if you got by these two, you'd have to face everyone in their own courtyard if you were a monster or a rogue bandit trying to rush through and charge toward the town or escape out to the countryside. It's like, no, that's not going to be that easy. So you're watched, but there's no grand wariness. There's some signaling or some code words or magic, perhaps. They're aware that you're allowed to be inside the keep because you're allowed to pass through it. And you do see the vaunted Captain Sky, a dark-skinned, short-haired individual who kind of watches from one of the parapets. Not you in particular. They look in your direction because you're a thing that's not normally there. And then they promptly stop caring because you're not doing anything dangerous. And they look around like the mountains. They'll say something to someone next to them. They are the captain of the guard as a whole, which you don't know. If Captain Sky is personally involved, somebody is either really powerful or really pissed off the city, and the captain had to personally hunt them down. But they don't normally they usually bother delvers, because delvers are more Ereband's problem. Unless you really tick them off, I guess. But, hopefully you never make an enemy of him. Supposedly he is he's a master warrior.
Well, once I get through last, I kind of rush and, jog on my little legs to catch up to Ms. Cawthorn and try to say, wait for me, wait for us, all pitiful.
Can I pretend not to hear her? No,
I may catch up to you as you reach the gate. I don't know. You had a good
You're
head
running
start.
on the grass.
Yeah, I'm running on the grass across instead of taking the little road to try to catch up to her before she leaves us.
Which they don't mind too much. That road's definitely that's more to make sure their horses are more comfy and the wagons are better.
Yeah, it's like a cart road. I get it, but like the courtyard is still open.
Yeah, you're like, well, no one's here, so scamper.
Right.
And as you get to the western gate, you see for yourself the settlement itself of Nazo. The Grand Guild Garden with various market stalls selling various adventuring goods, and it's normally where most adventurers refill their inventory points, being real. There's, of course, the guardhouse, the various near river nobles, and the Grand Guild Hall, which is probably the second, which is newer than most of the noble houses, than all the noble houses in the mayor's home. But it is older than the rest of Nazo. Like, it was built, the guild hall was built, and then the rest of the city started getting built rather rapidly, because they were drawing all these people here. So, Delvers, where do you go?
Guess to the guild hall next, so that we can report properly.
Yep. I'm also headed to the guild hall with Ms. Cawthorn, whether she wants me with her or not. I keep picturing that. I keep picturing that little picture you drew of, like an imprinted duckling and that horrified, put upon look on your character's face, and that's pretty much what we're doing.
as you walk into the Grand Guild Hall, you see this massive space. You see various adventurers of high magic and low magitech folk, people of light magic and dark magic, people who have delved as far as the Second Strata, and most of the people here are First Strata explorers. And you know that anyone who's qualified to make it to the Third Strata, they get to have their own private rooms on the second floor. And that includes the guild mistress, of course, and her adventuring party, who got all the way to theoretically they got to the Fourth Strata, but they didn't really explore very much. That was the point where they went, we're good. We have to turn around and get some help. We can't do this on our own anymore. And Guildmistress Erebin is present, along with their various assistants who are in their nice, crisp robes with various little jewels pinning them over, which also they're kind of like the little clasps that Hana wears, except they don't have them flipped under. They have them like open. So in a quick glance, you know, oh, you can help me with items. Oh, you can help me with permits. Oh, you can help me with whatever, right? And the guild mistress is taking reports from people. There's like another party that arrived a little bit before you did, and they're kind of reporting to her about what they found. They're saying stuff that you've heard already, like, oh yeah, oh, they ran into the bomb ants as well. Okay, they saw the same thing we did, that sort of thing. They seem to go a different direction by the sound of it. They didn't go nearly as deep as you did. They went a lot further across. They did a lot more sneaking. They didn't really fight very much, but they didn't go down, so they don't know about the throne room you discovered. And they tell where certain thing is, and the guildmistress kind of checks against the book, a big tome, and goes, okay. And then she hands out little chits that look to be that have, or like coins, like white discs with red diamonds or red hearts on them, and she'll hand out bits of that to them. Eventually they're done, and no one else is lining up, because not everyone needs to report at the same time, because some people are down there for days, some are down for weeks, some go down for like an hour and then come back right away. And some people get hurt, and then there's a rescue operation to send people down to go rescue someone who's hurt, you know. The Guildmistress never come back. Yeah, sadly. Guildmistress Erebin is, despite all the activity in the room, seems very calm. And they clearly are a master of multiple arts. What exactly those are, she hasn't really talked about much. She's not known for talking about herself very much. But to have gotten that far down, she has seen and learned a lot from her party members and about herself. She doesn't look like she adventures much anymore. You don't see her inventory points, or like her gear, her weapons, or anything like that. She wears a light leather vest, but that's partly armor, partly style. And you can see there is what appears to be a guacamole pin of many colors that indicates that they've visited the duchy at some point, which is a bit of a trip from here. Supposedly her party also ventured across the Countless Realms looking for the princess initially, but found she was nowhere, and was the only place she possibly could be was the Place of Vows, which they were hopefully trying to find her, but they never got that far. But there she waits.
I would like to point out... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
My apologies. I just wanted to describe one thing. As we're coming into this room, and this other group is finishing up their report before we get to ours, I'll use that opportunity to sort of stand behind Ms. Cawthorn and hide in my little mantle, and while I do, I'm like unlatching my amulet and putting it back in its hiding place in that pocket somewhere deep in my mantle, so I'm not wearing it. And so people can't see it, like I hide it.
Easily done. You don't even have to do a roll. The room is so busy, and there's so many people looking around. Even the thieves who might think to rob you. One, bad idea. There's a lot of high-level people in here who would probably stop them. And two, who knows what level you are? They don't know how skilled you are. Maybe you'll catch them. But hey, if you wanted to hide your stuff, or begin to hide things on your person, this is a pretty good place to do it.
That's what I was thinking. Not out in the open where everyone can see, but in a tight and closed environment where I can be easily hidden and not noticed. So yeah. Anyway, my apologies. Carry on. I just wanted to point that out.
While we're waiting, I assume there's got to be some sort of calendar or timekeeper or something of some sort. How long have we been gone? Has it been in hours, or has it been closer to a day?
We were there a while.
You've been down for about, I want to say 3 hours? That seems correct to me. About 3 hours. Oh, I correct myself. It's been 5. It's been 5 hours.
We did good for a first trip. Many groups don't even make it an hour.
And some camp. Some get super tired and just set up a magic tent in the dungeon, which is a little risky, but you know it saves you having to walk, especially if you're really deep in the stratas. It's a long walk back up, so it's usually better to just set up camp and wait.
Yep. Find a safe room. Lock it up. Yep. But no, for our first trip, we did really good though.
The guild mistress The guild mistress seems to be. What is Roan up to while you're waiting your turn? Before I go too much further.
Probably just watching.
I'll note that you do see various peoples. It is, there's the classic, the human folk, the various high fae folk, like the elfin peoples, both of light and shadow, of moon and star, of winter and summer, and so on. But there's also various other strange folk, beast folk, dragonkin, even the rather and even occasionally you see strange adventurers from as far away as Coriastellum or indeed the Sultanate of Ascara, who, the Magitech people really kind of, you either see people who look very, almost low fantasy, and then you see the exact opposite near them that are way high tech. They really don't spit in around in Rockaway. With all their weird gadgets and spheres, and sometimes you see like one broody looking guy with a big sword about as wide as his body, shoving magispheres into the sword, and somehow that makes it magical. Who knows how Magitech works?
Always in the corner.
No, that's the ranger.
There are more people looking for corners than there are corners.
Well,
they're jostling for corner position.
Yeah, they thought about making this room into an octagon to give more corners, but the builders have said, for the love of God, no, just build a normal house.
They want more corners to brood in.
We'll build multiple floors. Genius. The guildmistress awaits at her desk. She doesn't always sit at the desk. Sometimes there's someone else that's there, like her second in command, but she tries to be present in case someone needs questions or cough. Sometimes certain adventurers get a little forceful, and she has to step in and remind them very quickly that this is not the place. Because, fighting in the guild hall is, you would not be rolling you'd be rolling to survive and flee this place, not defeat these people, unless you were at least level 40 or higher. That's the only way you'd have any chance here. If you wanted to attack this place. Not saying you should, I'm just saying that's how tough someone would be, and the only level 40 plus person in the room is probably the guild mistress.
So this is not some anime where you can brawl in the guild hall, okay?
If you brawl, you do it outside.
Okay. Well, I'll look.
Don't really want to brawl.
Who has the most detailed notes? I'll dig out my notebook and see what I can report on what we found and compare with everybody. I believe we know everything that we collected and what we can explain and show our map and all that stuff.
Yes, I will produce my tome, flip through it, and filter through my notes. Of course, I shall omit my personal remarks. An interspace through here. These are my personal notes. And Guildmistress, we have returned.
Oh, hello, my dear. Hello. It was Miss Cawthorn, I believe. Paige Cawthorn it was?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, you are correct.
How are you getting along with your new party?
I'd like to examine quietly her expression because I don't know if that's serious or if that's...
It's as serious as a sunflower. This does not look like someone who fights for a living, but she's genuinely asking you. She thinks she's doing you a favor. In her mind, she is.
Well, now that you're no longer cursed. Over my shoulder. They have all their limbs still attached.
Oh dear, it seems you're one short in your party. Are they okay?
He wandered off the moment we returned.
She peers into your face for a moment, and then after a short pause, she nods to herself. Oh, I see.
He didn't seem to be very happy.
No, he's a very sad young man. And welcome, Roan. I would offer you the appropriate tea, but I'm at work, unfortunately. As you'll note, Erebin does not bear any metal on her person. And you remember that about her, that she, having worked with Fae folk before, she specifically doesn't wear metal around them. If any metal she deals with, it's in Zenith. And Zenith is kind of like an exception for long storied reasons.
Oh, and I'm fine with most metals. It's just
Cold
iron.
Yeah. She goes that one step beyond because of the various Fae she runs into. Your kind of Fae are like, cold iron I don't like. It's like other ones don't like certain metals. Some of them don't even like Zenith, which makes life with them interesting. How do you pay them? Not in Zenith, that's for sure.
First names, firstborn.
I have a condensed report here, and I pull out a couple papers. I've been kind of scrawling on them while the out of character children were busy with their decursing adventure. That's what she was doing.
Most of what Hana has is like a very poorly drawn map that is an admirable but very amateurish attempt to, have some sort of diagram of where we had gone and, where rooms were in relation to one another. But the notes for each individual room are pretty sparse. And she's relying on what her allies have recorded to fill that data in, basically. But she'll present it all the same.
Ron comments on interesting treasure rooms and the enemies, because those are the things that Ron cares about mostly.
You all, one leads, the others can assist. Willpower is parted to see how detailed a report you give to Erebin. Bare minimum, you are still going to be recognized as having gone as deep as you have, but the better you do, the more she'll pay you for the information. Because it's better quality detail she can use to check her notes.
I'm only a D8 willpower.
D8 here.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Likewise.
Doesn't matter
Just
though.
Who wants to lead then?
I have the most detailed notes, but I'm probably the worst at explaining anything. My character has written everything curt to the point and almost scientific in nature.
Makes you feel any better. They wouldn't offend Erebin. She works with all sorts. I mean, you think you're curt. Wait till a Radabaran starts explaining the secrets of ancient lore and how computers work. And it's like, sure. I don't know how that stuff works. I'm not Magitech.
Could I argue for willpower might in terms of Roan explaining things with a lot of sound effects and gestures?
Hilariously, yes.
Yeah, go ahead and lead that.
You lead that?
Yeah. Go ahead and lead and we'll support you. That's pretty funny.
Oh, damn it.
Really got caught up in the gestures.
Actually, can I reroll to Treasure Hunter Extraordinaire?
You certainly could.
There we go.
Go.
So there was this room in the third, and it had these big round things that were like, whoa.
Any further assistance? Each point does matter.
Yeah.
It's not about it isn't necessarily about hitting certain threshold. Because you'll always be paid for
I
information.
provide my written notes. I actually have real notes here. My other tab is actually a full log.
I should check how deep
But
you
I have
actually
been updated.
You're well below 5, so I actually have to figure out. You went to depth. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you went to depth of 10. 10. And that means... Don't worry, I'm coming back, folks. Don't worry. Boop, boop. Calculator. You guys roll 13, 14, 15. You are presented with a reward with your in-depth description. Your room descriptions help out, because what Roan is able to do quite handedly is describe the monsters and how they moved in great detail. So that's actually very helpful to the guildmisters. And then she kind of gets a little lost on that. He gets a little lost on that. But the other two are able to fill in, like, well, it was on this part of the dungeon that happened. It was in this part of the thing that happened. It's like, oh, okay. And then she's able to make more notes and stuff like that. She actually adds a fair amount. The guildmistress adds quite a bit to her book in little notes. As you see, there's various notes and various other adventurers who've noted different things than you did. Certain doors are different. And her book has like a oh, I'm hearing myself echo. But I'm okay. A certain level of detail of elsewhere in the dungeon, but without personal context and understanding her shorthand, it's hard to tell what they mean. But she pays you 1,500 zenit for the information.
Okay.
Oh,
And also,
I was going to ask. Sorry.
And also, she counts out little white discs, 60 diamond discs, and 70 heart discs. And she says to you, there's a counter over there, and she points to a dwarven-looking fellow on the opposite side of the room, who's away from the main desk where people are getting quests, or like quests in town or around town, or escorting something or whatever. Or there's a guy who has his own little desk kind of far away from all that. They're almost kind of embedded into a far wall near one of the chimneys, and you can see a small forge there. Sir Dwarf over there can take your credits for your resources and trade goods that you're able to confirm are still there, and you may trade in to learn some of the secrets that our adventuring party was able to discover. Cough. Mechanically, you're able to fill in the map with helpful rooms. Because those are rooms that the original adventuring party learned about and said, actually, that's already there. Or we built that there because there wasn't a town originally, so we kind of have to build things as we went.
I was going to ask, would Latch get a help roll to possibly add 100 to our total?
No, he wandered off.
Okay.
Because the upside of him not helping also means that he can't take the downside of failing.
That's true too. But,
Does he get another payout?
I mean, if you give him a cut, if you don't cut him in, that's up to you. He's not here. He doesn't know what he's being paid yet.
I was just thinking if we got that other 100, it'd be 400 each. It would have been easy. That's all I had on my mind. But 375 each is still pretty easy.
I mean, you can get 0. She can take it back if you want.
I'm not going to cheat him. So.
We shall take all cuts, and if he does not ask.
Yep. I'll divide it up and give everybody their 375 each.
Actually, I might have it now.
So that puts me at 596. And I believe you owe me 300, Roan?
yep. Yeah, I'll give you the 300 out of my cut.
Thank you so much. Okay. If you're destitute, though, you can pay me back later.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Shall
Do you
we
have-
go
do
turn
you-
in credits? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask if any of you had any questions about your adventuring so far. You've all done rather well to get to the depth of 10 in the first strata in your first foray. I have pretty high hopes for you all. As long as you don't
How
get
many
too...
people-
Oh, sorry, you were asking a question. I interrupted.
No, I apologize. I was just going to ask how many people reached the throne room on their first visit.
To date, about 40. You be 41. Most people go a lot slower. They tend to go, they search eat depth a little too much, I think. But you're one of the few that drill down fairly quickly, which is not a bad thing. As you saw in that place, there are a couple ways. There's one very dramatic way down, but that wretched plant just keeps growing back there every time someone slays it, so it's not really the greatest place to delve. But the other way you found, that's more than worth it, even though you do have to search for secret doors. Or pay, which, as you described, you did, which... I'm sorry you have to deal with that monster. Better to deal with him than to fight him. It's just not worth it. Especially at that strata. I hear he's somewhere in one of the lower stratas, like in the 4th or 5th strata, but I've never found him. We never went that far, so I don't know for sure.
I nod with big wide eyes. Thank you so much for your time.
Good day, Delvers.
If you have a minute in a short while, I do have some questions to ask you.
Certainly, that's what I'm here for.
I'll curtsy daintily as I step away from her desk and count out our credits and begin making my way towards the dwarf that was pointed out at us.
It's Sir Dwarf.
Sir Dwarf. Okay.
As you learn that, yeah, he's one of those few dwarfs that for some reason doesn't tell anyone his name, so everyone just, to be respectful, just calls him Sir Dwarf because he's been around a long time. He doesn't talk much either. He seems very focused on things, which, hooray, I guess. He's one of those old school dwarfs that doesn't like being up topside, though one wonders why he's here, but hey. So,
That must be worth it.
we look back to the first strata, and now you're not here. We'll reset you all back into, actually, latch goes away. You three get reset to the first room. Not that you're there, but that's so we remember for later. All right, so this is where I reveal, actually, because I don't think I said it straight out yet. The mechanics I'm using for this map are based off of the solo map drawing game Delve by Anna Blackwell. If you want to delve on your own little thing, it's not a Fabula Ultima thing. It's its own game with its own rules and all that stuff. It's more a story of dwarves digging too deep and running into problems. I just reflavored it and use it for the Fabula Ultima game and story that we're telling. They don't have strata and stuff like that. That's a Fabula Ultima thing. But the building rules, well, that's where we're going to build a little bit of our map together. Because I'm deciding how the rooms are built when you draw cards, but with your resources, you get to decide what is found. Even if there's not a door, you can connect any of these rooms, by the way, as long as it's attached to the existing map. Ideally to an existing door, but you can connect it to places without doors. That's also a way you can kind of sprawl safely in a direction without having to explore that direction. But it costs. Rooms are not cheap. So you have a lot of resources. 60 trade goods and 70 resources. So you have a lot to do. Most rooms take up a single square, like most of those rooms in the first depth you've seen. Some are bigger, and if they are, I'll let you know. And if you want to make a bigger room, like a bigger version of that room, like you can build a barracks next to a barracks, for example, and it turns into a 2-square barracks that you can chain the same thing together. It just changes them from 1-square rooms to 2-square rooms, to give you an idea. So you can build various rooms that emplace guards that can help you if things go awry. That's not as important, I'll warn, in the first strata. But in deeper strata, it doesn't. It's nice to have guards or backup that you can run to or ask for help, and possibly pay them in Zenit to come help you with a fight. That's where you could pay for barracks. You could have a forge nearby, so you didn't have to go all the way up to the top to do a project roll easily. You could get a mason to help you build barricades to block off certain pathways, because some monsters don't stay in the rooms. They'll follow you through the dungeon trying to fight you. So sometimes you can't really build a barricade easily unless you have a mason room somewhere in the strata. You can build an inn, which that's like, instead of having to go all the way to the surface, there's an existing inn that's run by adventurers who don't want to have to go all the way up to the top and then come back down again. They just go, no, we'll stop here, and this is like a safe spot for us to be. The only danger of inns is that there's a random chance that an adventurer may be helpful or may not be helpful, because people come and go. So the other delvers do come and go from there. You can get a kennel, which is usually used for beast taming. So certain monsters you encounter, like the wolf you encountered on his own lair, if they're your level or lower, you can convince some monsters to help you. That's like having a barracks, but it's animals and monsters who you can give them a safe place to stay, and they'll hang out there. And if you need them, you can go collect them, and they'll help you with a fight. And if they get defeated, they leave. They just retreat back to their kennel. And if you had a companion, like in a wayfarer sense, you would do the same thing. Like your companion would be shunted to the nearest kennel rather than all the way to the surface, for example, or the stairway, more like. There is a alchemist lab you can build. These allow every time you start a dungeon, there's a chance that one or two things. Either most of the time, nothing happens. Oh, sorry, I take that back. For each alchemy lab you build, you will assemble 10 alchemists and apothecaries to kind of help experiment on things. They're helpful for like skill rolls and stuff if you want to ask an expert and they're closer by. But if you get at least 50 or more in a single strata, I draw cards each time you arrive in that strata. Like you go to the surface or you wait or you sleep a day or whatever. So each day I can check, hey, what cool thing did they do? Most of the time they do nothing. They do stuff that doesn't really matter to you. It's neat, but not important. If I draw a little, and the ace of spades, the laboratory blows up and all the alchemists are killed. And they damage the nearby rooms.
Wow.
If I draw a king of diamonds, they will have learned how to to make a local philosopher's stone. And that allows you to trade 1 resource for 3 trade goods. Normally it's, I forget what the exchange rate is, but it's 1 for 3 if you have a philosopher's stone. I think it's, because you can swap these back and forth with each other. I have to check real quick what the actual exchange rate is. My brain, I think I remembered looking it up the other day and I forgot already. There's certain rules we're not going to cover because you're not a bunch of dwarves you're not doing an actual delve, you're adventurers. You're a lot more granular in scope. Okay, so normally you can trade a trade good for 2 resources, or 1 resource is worth half a trade good. So for every two hearts is worth 1 diamond. 1 diamond gives you 2 hearts. But if you have a philosopher's stone on your strata, resources can now be turned into 3 trade goods because they just melt whatever they want into whatever else they want. So, there is a library which allows, which will have mages who kind of hang out there, who can help you with rituals. If you need like assistance to come help you do a ritual cast, they can help you with that. And they don't make it, they will aid in the roll, so they can add +1 to the roll because it's presumed the mage can do their job. If you fail a ritual, that all the mages will die with you. They'll take the consequence with you, which may not be death. I take that back. They may just get badly hurt and not want to help you until tomorrow. They might want a day before they help you again. But when you build a library, I actually draw on some of these rooms, like say those ritual rooms. Like remember those rooms with the creepy eyes, the creepy clowns? Those are ritual rooms. Ritual rooms have one or two things. They either do good magic or bad magic. I keep drawing bad magic. Good magic has something cool happen, like the cats was a good magic room. It was a cat portal, which it didn't do much, but you now have a place to relax in. It's a safe room that doesn't expect you anything. But other good magic things can happen. So if you build a library, a good magic thing happens as well. Because it's presumed the mages there have something cool they found or something cool they already have. You can build a prison that is more for capturing other adventurers you find or humanoid threats in the dungeon, and you don't want them wandering around. In the First Strata, you're running into a lot. You've so far ran into things that don't leave their area, but sometimes, especially in lower strata and in lower depths, some monsters wander, and you might run into them by accident. And you can hold prisoners and imprison monsters. It doesn't have to be just people. You can imprison monsters in there. So if you don't want to destroy a monster, you just want to capture it. If you feel bad for some creature, you could put it in there. They don't become allies like a kennel would, for example, but it is a safe place to put them so they don't hurt anybody and they can't hurt, but you don't have to necessarily slay them. Okay. If you're in desperate need, you can free all the prisoners you've captured, and there's a chance they'll help you fight, or there's a chance they'll just run, and you just lose all your prisoners. If you fill your prison, the max is 20 prisoners, you get 20 trade resources. Because you basically get, you get a reward from the town because you've made the dungeon safer. Other downside, there is a possibility during certain events that prisoners will try to escape anyway. So, it's a very expensive thing to build, but it has its benefits. You can build... that's not terribly relevant. There's certain rooms that I won't bother pointing out because they're not relevant to your scale. Oh, here's a weird one. You can build a kitchen where there's an actual contingent of chefs, like heroic chefs who set up shop to cook monster food and various plants they find to make it a little safer for adventurers. If you're having a combat in a room adjacent, and adjacent is anything that's touching a side or corner of the room. So that is to say, on this map, that room, right. These rooms are all adjacent. Because even as long as it's a corner, as long as it's touching something in that square. If you're adjacent, your might die is increased by 1 because it is presumed you're near enough. You could have grabbed a snack not that long ago and gotten a chef buff. Or the nice smells are kind of buoying your energy. Downside is the monster destroys the kitchen. That's kind of sucks because they can't really defend themselves very well. But hey, it's a neat room. There's also a museum which is very expensive. It's 50 and 50. It takes up 2 grid spaces. Every time you win a fight, I roll a d4. On a 4, the people who work in that museum will hear about your victory. And they'll do a museum piece about that fight and the monster you fought, and against that enemy type, which that's a humanoid, demon, elemental construct, like that sort of categorization. You get +1 on any check involving that type for future fights. Yeah. Each museum can only hold 4 trophies at a time. So if you want more than 4, if you want more than +4, then you have to build another museum so they can have more exhibits.
Or one next to it, so you have one big museum, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. if you can build an overseer office, these are people they're basically a merchant class character who you set them up with an office, and anytime if you're in there, anything in the same column, so that's anything up down, anything that's a trade resource room in the same column as them, they will double how much that trade value is worth.
Ooh. We have one with like 30 right here. We could double that to 60.
It has to be revealed.
Oh,
if it's already been discovered, the benefit isn't. The benefit's already come and gone.
Okay. Gotcha. So it's for future. So we'd want to put it like here and then delve down lower. I get you.
You could build a shrine. Shrines can either be for defense, which make it a if monsters want to pass through it, if like they're chasing you and you're running away and you run through a shrine of defense, monsters actually get damaged automatically by the magic power in there. It acts as it's actually pretty hefty damage. Like they take some serious damage if they try to pass through it. Smart ones won't bother. Dumb ones will rush straight through it and just take free damage.
Okay.
The other type of shrine that's useful to you is a shrine of fortune. That allows all trade good rooms you find by 3. This room isn't relevant to you. This room isn't relevant. No, there's one room that's useful. There is dedicated storehouses you can build. Those allow you to get rooms built. Oh god, I don't know how useful that is. Okay, so rooms built on this floor cost half resources, because a lot of rooms cost resource and trade. Floor isn't strata. Floor is like this is a floor. That's a floor. That's a floor. It has to be aligned. Instead of column, it's row. So as long as they're on the same row, it costs less because there's a storeroom on the same floor as they are.
Interesting.
You can build... I've almost run out of stuff that's relevant. You can build a temple, which is 2 grid spaces, costs 20 and 20. A temple, if you build it for a temple of protection or temple of or purity... those are the 2 types of temples, Doy. A protection temple, if you go into that room and you spend 5 trade goods or 5,000 zenith, you can gain... Your defense is increased by... as if your die was 1 higher. So if it's a D8, it becomes a D10,
like
D68. So basically a +2. So you're basically paying for a buff until you take damage. Once you take damage, the buff goes away. Because the magic stops working at that point. You can do a Temple of Purity. Temple of Purity, you can... If you get like a bad magic roll, some bad magic rooms will curse you or do bad things to you and it'll linger with you. And, well, as you've learned, to get rid of that, you have to get a curse unraveled and stuff, right? Well, Temple of Purity rooms, you can just go there and it just sucks it out. It just destroys it. Or, it's also a place where you can get curses lifted. And temples can... any room, by the way, can be attacked by monsters roaming. So be careful if you have a monster that you know is dangerous that walks around. You don't want it to walk around near rooms you want. You want your rooms to be somewhat safe. Otherwise, except for certain rooms like barracks and stuff, but that's not terribly relevant to you. So don't put your valuable stuff near the big monster. Or for example, not next to the boss monsters, the Strata boss room. That's a bad idea. Boss Strata guys tend to move around. Okay. That's not relevant. That's not relevant. You can build just straight up. You can just build an elevator, a Magitech elevator, that allows you to go up or down. So that's where it's just I make an up door and a down door. That's what that room is for. And you can delve straight down or make a way to go straight up, for example, because depending on the map, you may want a way up from a room that's not very helpful. Those cost 5 resources each to build. So you can give yourself a straight down path pretty quickly. Downside is monsters can use them too. So be careful with that. If this isn't relevant yet, but in later strata, it is possible to run into places that flood, that fill with water. Those rooms, actually one room that kind of almost was this swamp room here. In this upper strata, I wasn't going to pick on you, but some rooms, when they fill with fluid like that, they spill over into their adjacent rooms and flood them as well. That starts below the oh no line here. The fifth, anything below 5th depth is when I'm supposed to pick on you. And lower strata, I'm definitely going to pick on you because you're if you run into water rooms. There's a room type called a pump that drains a liquid room of liquid, no matter what it is.
Okay.
So, you can also purposely flood a room. You can move water from a pump room into a room that's on the same floor as it or lower. But it can't go up. They can't pump into higher rooms. You need to build another pump to do that, but that'd be expensive. That room's not relevant. Sorry, there is one room. You can build left to right. So elevators up, down. You can build tracks, basically little minecart track rooms that let you go, that build you left to right. Downside again, monsters can use those. I just imagined a slime, hop, goop, goop, boo, chasing after you. Quick. There are more advanced rooms. You don't have enough resources for them, but one is an inventions lab, which requires 100 resources and 50 trade, and you have to have either you need a library, because the other ones you don't qualify for. The library, so you build a library first, then you build an inventor's lab. With an inventor's lab, if you pay 50 trade goods, they will make an invention for you. And that's a random card I pull, and they make a cool thing that helps you out or helps out with the strata. There is also if you find the pheromones invention from an inventor's lab, you qualify to make a breeder room. It's a 4-space room, and it's for breeding monsters. You basically get to play Pokemon for a little bit as you're able to purposely meld monsters together to create other monsters, you may do that if you have very high level monsters, because you can't control monsters higher level than you. You might be able to capture them, but you can't control them. For example, like if you imprison one, but if you breed, they don't mind breeding. They don't mind that if you have the same kind of monster. And when you breed 2 high level monsters, they create whatever they are at half level. So they're weaker, but that may make monsters that you might actually be able to put into kennels and might be able to help you out. And the good thing is each breed room can hold 2 people. But to do that, you need a pheromone invention. To get that, you need the inventor's lab. To get that, you need the library. So it's this whole chain of building you have to do.
Gotcha.
As for barricades, I'll go into that if you ever want to build those, but those take trade goods, is the short story to that. Basically, it makes it harder for the monsters to roam around. You basically build gates in places. And the most important one is secret passages. Now notice how a lot of these rooms don't have any doors. For 50 trade goods, you can reveal or have a door made to go in a certain direction on any existing wall. The only downside to that, the upside of that is that monsters don't see those. Like if you see a door, a monster can see a door. Is the idea. But if there isn't an obvious door and you create a secret passage, that's one or you magically created and you only know that. So I actually have to roll to see if they even see, if I wanted them to go through it, I actually have to roll to see if they even see the door.
It was like, so they're more like concealed doors.
Yeah. They're concealed
like
doors you know about.
Found over here.
Yeah.
Because she looked around while other people weren't. Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, that is... There are a lot of other rooms in the book, but they aren't relevant to your situation. They're more about supplying soldiers and stuff like that. But again, that'd be something the guildmasters will be worrying about. That's not you. You don't have to worry about that. So, is there anything you want to build?
Anything jump out at y'all? I
My
know I
first
like
observation is that I wish Temzik were here.
Right. I like the museum personally.
If you ask me, my recommendation would be to. Well, I don't have the prices on hand,
Right.
so that would be a concern. But for me, it'd be making like a rest position halfway down, maybe 2/3,
An
where you build a
inn,
warehouse, an inn,
A safe
and then
room
a
or an
library.
inn. Yeah.
inn would be
Yeah.
30 resources and 10 trade goods.
No, we can afford that.
Yeah, let me just write this down.
How much do we have again?
60
Right down at the
trade and
bottom.
70 resource. Some of that you did
3
lose some of that
resources, 10
because you
trade?
gave some of it to Sarah, but
Right. Well, I mean, I thought we had a lot more trade goods at one point. I could have sworn we had. Serious
So an inn
numbers.
is 30 resources, 10 trade?
60 diamonds, 70 heart. You should see it over my name, actually.
Yes, it's right there.
Yeah.
I was asking about the,
Oh, I do
the,
see
the
it.
price
I'm
for
sorry,
the
you're
inn.
Oh, 30 resources, 10 trade. 30 heart, 10 diamond.
Hmm.
Well, I think an inn's a really good idea, sure. And how much was the museum, out of curiosity?
Scroll. 50 and 50. And it takes up 2 squares.
Well, we can't get both, so I'd say inn first.
How much is a storehouse, by the way?
A storehouse is 15 resources.
Okay, 15R. Okay, and library is how much?
15 resources.
15R. Okay. Here's my proposition, everyone. We kind of need a rest. We were pushing through everything and we were kind of running out empty, but I think we could go a little further if now that we know what direction we're supposed to go.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking is around the halfway point, we just kind of build them all in a row.
Sure.
Not the worst idea.
And how much is a room of defense? Because I feel like if we're going to put an inn in the middle of that, then maybe there should also be a room that defends that area. So that if we go running back to it, monsters would, stop. Smart monsters would stop rather than following us.
There's 2 types of defenses. You can build a barricade, which isn't a room. You'd build it at a door or as part of a room. That required to build a barricade on a strata. You need a mason, which costs 20 resources. And barricades themselves, defensive ones are 10 trade, offensive ones are 20.
Oof.
Oh, and secret passages, you need, secret passages do not require a mason. I am wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. There's another. You can build traps on monsters as well. I wouldn't do that to yourself if I were you, because traps don't care who steps on them.
Right.
Temples. If you're doing a temple of the, is it not temple? It's the one that hurts monsters for going through it. I think it's
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about.
Shrine of Defense.
Right.
Shrine of Defense costs 20 resources. So does a Shrine of Fortune. A shrine costs 20.
Got it. So what can we afford then? I know you're keeping track, Aura?
I am doing my best because this is a lot of things to try to write down.
I know.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's just very dense information that I have no text copy of. So, here's the thing: if we build a storehouse, rewrite this. Thank you. A storehouse reduces the price of anything on the same horizontal level.
Yes.
So we start by building a storehouse, and then we build everything after that as a sort of rest point. It's similar to, like, I don't know, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, where there's a spot where you just rest, refill your inventory, keep going.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. And then the last thing, if we can afford it after we've done the other 3 rooms, can be the Shrine of Defense, and then we can explore outward and down from there. And then if we have to come running back, we'll run through the giant defense and then into the safe room. Or the storehouse, whichever order we want it. I'm not sure how much of it we can afford, but I feel like that's a really good idea.
Okay, how much does the storehouse reduce the cost of? Is it percentage-wise, or is it flat negative?
Flat half. Half resources is what it does. The
That
quote from the
means
book:
that if we build
"How many
store-
tools do dwarves lose in a project?" Answer: less with a storehouse.
Right.
Cute. Sorry, go
So
on.
the diamonds and the hearts, which one's the resources and which one's the...
Diamond is trade, heart is resource. And you were saying something before I jumped on you there, Paige.
Yeah.
Me with my smart Alec.
No, not much. I was just kind of writing this down. Yes. So beginning with the storehouse, where is a good place to put this? Should we say, kind of
Oops.
halfway down exactly?
It has to be
Or
attached
does we need-
somewhere. It has to be attached.
Oh.
Yeah, it has to attach to an existing room, right? So I think the best we can do is here.
The deepest you could get away with is doing this.
Right. And like we could put a secret door behind the throne there for why we find it.
Yeah.
Well, no, if you build a room like this,
No.
it creates a door. Because
Okay,
otherwise,
but we
how
can
would
make
you
the
find?
secret door.
But if you make a
What
secret,
if we want...
you could make it. You can make an existing door secret if you want. That is true. Secret passage is either make an existing door a secret door, or to look at an existing room and make a door be there. That's mostly what it's for. The hell's that? Oh, it's the thing.
All right, so what are you thinking, Ara?
You were thinking like.
Well, we
here.
could. I personally, if we're gonna spend all our points, then my recommendation is that if we have to do like a big, here's where we stop, I'd say we wait a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're hoping to be somewhere like here before you start building.
Yeah, on future runs, because then that is the stop and resupply before continuing for the last half, so that you don't arrive at the final the strata boss potentially completely like knackered.
No, I'm fine with that. That's a fair observation. And it's not that far to like, explore that direction next time we go down. We can probably get there fairly easily if we don't get an incredibly bad travel roll on the way down.
We do have 2 ritual-based rooms here. So a library is not a bad first investment, if you ask me.
Okay.
Or something about this. But I'm content to just live and let live for now.
And save up our points.
Yes. Because we have a fair amount now, but I think we could do a pretty sizable investment, assuming that these points can be saved.
They totally can be, yeah. Because you're getting credit for confirming that these places exist. So the guild is saying, hey, if you find these places, we'll tell you. Because one or two things are happening. Either you're having them paid to have them built, or the guild mistress is telling you, I actually already know where XYZ is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
perfectly fine with holding it and waiting then. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I think the only thing I think we could get some like immediate usage out of it is potentially a library.
Because you get a good magic thing no matter what.
Yes. Not the alchemist laboratory, the library for assistance on rituals, because we've got 2 rituals we could potentially do, which have high costs and medium DCs.
And we could probably even aid our exploration if we place it right at the south end of the throne room. If we want.
Yeah, because rooms you find or build always have an exit in all directions. Because they're good rooms, and you pay a pretty significant resource to have them exist.
Should we do that then? Just have a room built behind the throne room that is our first library.
So, potentially like...
I have no objections.
I think it's fine. It'd be a
Well,
good
let's
idea.
take a quick vote with the three of us then. Aye or nay, real quick. Anybody?
I say yes to library alone.
I say yes to
Likewise.
library as well. I'm fine with it. All right, let's do it.
All right, so that costs you all your resources. Just kidding. It costs 15. So I'll write down in the Discord. Minus 15 hearts. Wait, I can do this cooler. Heart to build library.
And it's one trade good to 2 resources, or is it the other way around?
Let me process this transaction. Real
No,
quick.
yes, sorry.
It's okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
5 golden rings. Sorry.
Library. Oops, should be in a different color, not purple. It should be blue because it's a good room that you built. Library. Those all go onto the map layer. And I build a door in each direction. Wrong layer. Try again. Map. Zoom in. Nope. I don't know how I did that. So we get a door up. We get a door to the side. And a door going down.
Perfect.
You were asking me about the exchange rate. It's 1 diamond for 2 resources. 1 trade good for 2 resources.
Okay.
And it takes 2 hearts to get 1 diamond.
Okay.
So that room is built. That room gets 5 mages. You don't have to use all 5 in one ritual. You could pick and choose. And you're like, oh, we only need we only want a +1. So 1. So if that mage gets hurt, it's not a big deal because you're only down 1. If all 5 get hurt, none of them can help you until a new day's come by. 2. Nope. Wait, I should make them as drawings. That'd be faster. That'd be way faster.
Put on a little weight.
Copy.
Got hit with the pancake trap. Rocks fell. Everybody died.
5. Yeah. I'll sort them out later. So that's that. And because you built a library, you get a good thing immediately. So because you have learned it is there, and you get the benefit from it, I draw a card. Shuffle the deck, just make sure, because I might not have. Draw. Jack. That's good. Hire's good. This library... there might be a way to do this. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to check the bestiary real quick. No, that doesn't happen. There we go. Jesus. No. That's too powerful. A goodly creature blesses that library. Just trying to find a suitable creature that makes sense for this strata. Wait, there's a thing for this. Hey, I'll have to do this the hard way. No. What? You know what? Sure. 1 second. Catch up to me. Oops. Yeah. That room is blessed by a mystical creature known as a Kelpie.
Oh. Water spirit, right?
Normally a malicious creature formed of a mixture of water mingled with magic-infused plant life. The sort that's drag travelers down and drown them. Very terrible, evil creature, but for some reason, it has decided this particular library, its known little pond, has lost the trait cruel, and instead is friendly. It has changed its ways. It has found enlightenment in this library and decides to guard it and its inhabitants. Which will limit what can hurt things there, but also it means that if you run into that library, the Kelpie's there and won't allow creatures to bypass it. Unless it happens to be one of its vulnerabilities, and it probably won't fight them, because it is opportunistic. It's a plant monster,
Fair.
of all things. Because that's really what it is. It looks like a horse, funny enough, but it's...
Yep.
Oh, where's my token maker? It's right here.
Like a monstrous plant seahorse type thing?
Yep. I'll actually show you the image here in a second. Kelpie.
I think they had them in D&D back in the day.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I hated those things. Kelpies are mean creatures. It was either that or another creature that I was like, no, well, that's a little too powerful. Of all things, I saw a mellow pwince, which is a type of ooze. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then I read that power basically is it summons other mellows to come fight with it. Like, no, hold on. This guy doesn't seem scary until you find out he summons his own personal army to fight things for him. Like, whoa, no, that's way too good. It's a good room, not an awesome room.
Ah.
The Prince would make an excellent barracks, though. Just some still oozes.
All good things are awesome, but not all awesome things are good. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That's not what I'm saying. Kelpie. I know. No, computer, stop helping. Stop helping me. Thank you. Oops, wrong book. No, come back. We're back. Oop.
Oh, hey, the only thing I can interact with is the card. Ooh, can you enlarge that for a moment so I get a good look at it? Oh, that is awesome looking. Thank
Kelpies are level 10 champions. Oh, no, it's not even a champion. It's just a level 10 monster.
Okay. That might alter the elements in the room.
Yeah, definitely that room will have water for some reason. Who knew?
Water and earth, yeah. Probably.
Water.
I will warn that Kelpies tend not to like fighting monsters, beasts, or elementals. But anything else, they don't mind beating the ever heck out of. Because they don't like the other ones. Monsters, beasts, and elementals, they like making allies out of. So I wouldn't consider this a creature that would run around with you and help. They live in the library, and the mages are like, yeah, we just live with the Kelpie and feed it stuff once in a while so it doesn't kill any of us. And that seems to work. So, and given the placement, this sounds like this is probably a library the High Mage had made, and then mages reinstituted it, and like, oh god, there's a Kelpie in here. Like, oh, feed me and I won't kill you. Spends inventory points. Thank you. Wait, really? We don't have to fight him? Awesome. So, are you gonna go away? No, I live here. What? Feed me or die. Here, have more food. Okay, I guess we just have to keep feeding this guy. Got it.
A small price to pay for the protection of a powerful monster.
Any other purchases? From Sir Dwarf.
Not now.
And not ever! I mean,
Later.
back to the settlement.
Thank you, Sir Dwarf. I, say in my most friendly manner possible, which probably grates on his nerves, I don't know, but,
Meh. Should build more cannons. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Well, as long as we're here, why don't we go out to the gardens and the trade areas and refill our inventory points and things?
Good idea.
Well, technically my inventory is good, but I could drink a potion to get back my mind points and then refill my inventory for the zenith that I spent. So I'll do that.
I
remember
Miss Cawthorn wanted to have words with the guildmistress before you all left. Well, as you two head out to the to the garden.
Fine. She can have her privacy.
Miss Cawthorn,
Yeah,
she says she not really expecting this to be a private conversation. She's just in the main guild hall sitting at her desk.
I believe my report is suitable proof that I have no hidden agenda or anything of such sort.
We all have agendas, Miss Cawthorn. It's just whether or not it is in the interest of saving the princess or ensuring the safety of this lovely dungeon town.
Yes. While we were delving, I do believe I wrote in my report, we found an individual by the name of Sarah, who was, at least the moniker, Sarah.
Yes, a troublesome occultist. An outlaw, one might argue, but I don't know if she's quite... That's more a kingdom designation rather than one we apply here at the guild hall.
I'll take it that they were at no point affiliated with the guild, then.
She is affiliated with the guild. She mainly sticks to the First Strata, despite having been there for long enough. Personally, I think she's qualified enough to go into the Second Strata. She's been qualified for a while now.
Yes, well, she did attempt to, what's the term? I believe the slang is to shake someone down. For, experiments. Yes.
Do you have proof of this?
Well, they insisted that we reimburse them for this, let's see here, I flipped through the papers and point to the section I wrote about the, Clatter Clown Room.
And basically acknowledging, yes, we are going to pay you for that. We are giving you a cut of our trade goods or something like that. Forget those trade goods or resources.
Yes, essentially they are, however, going around the guild for these resources.
Well, much as I would personally denounce such tactics, it is the sad truth of delvers who prey upon each other. Until she does something rather heinous against kingdom or the guild, or actually attacks someone without provocation. Fortunately, it sounds like that she is... Well, put it this way. The next time she does that, you may either wish to flee from her or stand up to her and make the bully stand down. A bit of adventurer justice. Because if we do this... If she holds up her hand. If we do this the normal way, the way the kingdom would want, me and you would have to go to Lord Mayor Motelife, present our case, and present our evidence, and then she would present hers, and then at some point the Captain Sky would be involved to verify the veracity of our accusations and evidence on both sides. And sometime within the next month, justice would either be done or not done. And frankly, knowing the Lord Mayor Motelife, he would find in favor of our dear occultist, for she is a more experienced adventurer and delver than you. And the nobles, although the Lord Mayor is supposed to be a mayor first and a lord second, he definitely loves his noble titles and cares of hierarchy, even though we do not hold to such rankage. How deep a strata you go to is what matters. If you really wish to take her down a peg, I'd either beat her in battle the next time you meet her and let her know what she's doing is wrong, or get to the next strata, come back to me, and you are a second strata adventurer, and she's a first strata adventurer, at which point your word is better than hers. It still will take a month for her to get punished, but Lord Mayor Motelife will take your word over hers suddenly. Although I imagine by that point, if she's smart, she better play nice with you, because she knows she would lose the case. So you might want to remind her. Alternatively, you could just get the strata rank and then meet her and remind her that you completely could just take her to court.
Joy. The recommendation to cut the red tape for you is duly noted. If anyone finds any further information on her experiments, though, I would be interested.
Pay me 100 zenith, I'll tell you what I know.
Sorry.
It's not breaking
How
the...
opportunistic of her.
Yeah, she's an adventurer. She had to get around the Countless Realm somehow.
Fine. I'll reach under my cloak. I reach to my bag, pull it out. I deposit it like in even coins, directly on the table.
She collects them.
Long, thin fingers, and then her hand goes back to the cloak.
She reaches out from her desk, takes out a perfectly clear Magitech orb, places it on the desk, and spins it in place, and it starts to glow with a soft blue light. The area around you gets very, very cold. Ice even begins to, you even see snow drifting past your vision every so often. And you are fairly certain no one can hear you, as everyone's hearing the blowing of snowy wind around you. And there's actually a whirl of, if anyone looked at the two of you, it'd be like the two of you are in a snow globe. Our dear Sarah is not the worst of your problems. She is part of a long chain of sorcerers who inhabit and operate out of the dungeon. As you may know, there are those in the towers of Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and Topaz that want to perform certain experiments within the dungeon. It's not necessarily legal, but the kingdom doesn't like it. I certainly think it's a dumb idea, but they think it's a wonderful idea, and they don't care what I have to say, because it's not endangering, in theory, it's not endangering the kingdom or the princess. If anything, they're gathering power to fight the good fight, as they lie to my face, thinking I'm stupid. She is but the first strata of my problem. On the second strata, there's actually a scientist, a type of lore master, an alchemist out of the Oscara. A master astrologer on the third strata, come all the way from Tirgan Sigith. And a master archmage, who I suspect comes from the Darklands, or indeed the Holy Empire, but I'm not sure of that, and I'd hate to assume I don't know anyone who can go to the fourth strata and do well without claiming it to me. But I've had enough adventurers in the third strata mention strange things and have strange visions that I tend to believe them. Now, I don't know if I could prove that they were in league with the stacks and the towers. Then I can make a fuss of this personally, or even set up a bounty quest to hunt down dangers to the town, to the Dungeon Town. But until such time, all I can do is take the zenith of well-meaning and curious adventurers and delvers and warn them.
For the purposes of me writing this down, the first one is the occultist Sarah. The second one is an Oscaran...
Scientist.
Was it an alchemist? Scientist.
She clarified for your character alchemist because, like, not unless you know high Magitech, that wouldn't mean anything to you.
Duly noted. I'll keep my awareness. What is the term? Eyes peeled? No, skinned. No. Oh.
Any other questions for me? She says as she reaches her hand down to the globe spinning on her desk.
Are they in league with each other, or are they competing?
They work together. They're part of the same cabal. Is my conjecture, but I'm usually not wrong about these things.
Yes, if any details about what they are working on comes to light, I would be interested in knowing.
Find me more information. Give me a study information if you ever get to the second strata, and about them and what about their scientist. And I may be able to give you some more information. My information about them is a little out of date, I think. So anything I tell you now, they probably aren't working on anymore. Or ask Sarah herself if you beat her in battle. She shrugs with a smile, like, yeah, that's one way to do it.
I give her a simpering smile.
Yes, thank you, level 40 character. I will totally beat up the level 10 character. Yeah, that's very easy. Thank you for that information. And she scoops up the orb. The snow globe around you vanishes, and she puts it back in her desk.
That's all I have to ask. Thank you.
She nods. Roan and... I know because we're a little close on short time here. Roan and Hana, you refill your inventory at the guild garden?
Actually, I may step back on that. How much does it cost to get a room and just rest for the night?
Let me look that up. But double checking with Roan, are you doing that?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make sure so I knew people were in the right spots on the map, so I didn't get that screwed up for later.
Right, but I mean, resting would refill everything anyway, right? That's all I was thinking. Not inventory points, but it would refill like mind points and hit points.
There we go. Town services. This is a town, not a city, so it costs 10 zenith to rest here.
Right. Yeah, I'll just get a room and rest instead.
So you could stay. To give you an idea where you could stay, you could stay in a room at the Guild Hall if you really want, or you can stay in an inn in one of the districts in town. It's up to you.
Probably go to Old Town. Just walk down the street up here to the north, and hang a left into Old Town, and find a rustic little inn there where I would be welcome. Where someone like me would not stick out particularly.
Yeah. Old Town's a very, we'll go into detail about Old Town next time, because I think we're going to have stuff happen in town. Yeah, you could find, but the short answer to your question is you could totally find a place in Old Town. They see all kinds of people coming and going. There's even a certain building in the center of Old Town that will take anyone who wants to come by, but you get a sketchy feeling that maybe you don't want to stay there. It's kind of the part of Old Town that for some reasons you can't see it from any guard tower. It's kind of tucked away in an alleyway somewhere. It's really shady in there. You know what? How about you go to one of the regular inns? A little safer.
Kind of place to go if you're in the know, you know?
Yes.
If you know, you know.
Any
If
last...
you don't know, don't go.
Any last moments before we close out the session out of Miss Cawthorn or out of Roan?
Well, that's it for me.
You gonna find somewhere to stay as well? For 10?
Yes.
Where are you staying? At
Yes,
the
I will.
Guild Hall or one of the parts of town?
Probably in the guild hall for now.
Okay. Plenty of rooms on the first floor for adventurers who want to pay and get some sleep. And if you really want to, you can pitch a tent at the guild garden and be safe. And it isn't a magic tent. You just set up a regular tent. Like, yeah, you can rest there. And no one's going to attack you here. There's too many high-level adventurers who just hang around.
Not a safe place to raid or thief.
Let's rob the adventurers. The adventurers that range from level 5 to level 40. How about no?
Yeah. Just roll them bones and see which one you get.
Yeah. And Paige Cawthorn, are you finding somewhere to rest for the night, or are you going somewhere to dig into some questions?
I can try to dig up more information on the morrow. I think it's best if I can I go home? Do I have a house?
You can go home. It will still cost you 10 zenit. Not so much to stay there because you're paying to be there. You're buying groceries and refilling your water and stuff.
Paying your rent, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if your home is just like a little nook shrine somewhere, and it's actually just like, you know, a resting place, and you just put your book on it, and then your body fades away, and you rest in book form. Nobody bothers it because it's like closed away somewhere in a little closet. I don't know though. I just that thought crossed my mind. I thought it'd be amusing.
You aren't too far off, actually. But
so that will be. I'll mark that because I remember we talked about this off stream. But
yeah,
you have a house that's a little off map, not too far, close enough. You're still in the settlement, but just a little outside of the stacks.
West of the Far River Nobles on the west side of town. Okay. Close to the stacks.
And that is that. For all of you watching out there, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And we'll see you all again next time. Bye. Yeah, I figured once you did the building aspect, it's like, yeah, it's going to take me a bit of time to talk that out and figure out strategically what you wanted to do. I was like, well, no, it's important to do this because this is what the whole loop of the Strata and delving system is. So there's actually a reason to find cool treasures that aren't Zenit, but they're good for building and stuff.
Fun. Add a strategy layer.
yeah. Yes.
An extra strategy layer over the game. I like it.
It's a pretty straightforward thing. There's other stuff for like building armies and guards and wandering. Because at that level, you're thinking grand strategy level of like you're worrying about monsters wandering around. Because there's no heroes in Delve. It's just a bunch of dwarves digging down. It's Dwarf Fortress basically, except simpler.
Darkest Dwarf Fortress Meshi.
Darkest Dwarf Fortress Meshi. Nice.
But I thought it'd be neat for our
Yeah,
Strata thing for
Pitching is
the Delve
definitely on my
thing.
shoulder.
Because I knew I had a map maker game in my library somewhere, and I was like, Delve should work. This'll do.